Hey, I'm Dr. Charles, aka CoachMD. In my over 30 years of medical practice, I've made it my goal to help you create a great life by achieving a strong mind, a healthy body, and an unshakable spirit. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's very disturbing, and it's the deaths due to drug overdoses. Fentanyl overdoses have become the leading cause of death in 18 to 45-year-olds. Now, we're very concerned with certain issues with the pandemic and death rates and helping people, but what we're totally ignoring is a epidemic of overdoses, and this is really sad. Fentanyl-related drug overdoses in 2020 became the top killer in adults aged 18 to 45. Yeah, not the virus, but fentanyl drug overdoses. Overtaking suicide, vehicle accidents, and gun violence, according to analysis of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention data by nonprofit group Families Against Fentanyl. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that's 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine, highly addictive and deadly. Buyers may be unaware that the drugs they buy contain illicit fentanyl, a 2 milligram dose of which can be fatal. Fentanyl is used in cancer, mainly cancer pain, people who have had very intensive surgery. A friend of mine, I was guiding him through he had a very severe illness that required major surgery, and he was in extreme pain afterwards, and he was placed on fentanyl. And when they did that, I said to him that he had to be careful because if he wasn't if careful with it, that fentanyl was going to be actually much harder to get off of than compared to the pain that he was in from the surgery and uh, the actual problem that he had. And sure enough, it took him over a year and a half to completely wean off of the fentanyl. And this is a person, a professional person. You might have this idea that people who are overdosing on drugs or are down and out on the luck or in the streets or whatever. No, it's all people can be a victim of this, and it is highly addicting. And we see now from this article that it's a major cause of death in young people, young adults, and middle-aged adults. The substance is most often manufactured in Mexico using chemicals supplied from China and trafficked across the southern border by Mexican drug cartels. Fentanyl is mixed with other narcotics to increase potency, as well as pressed into counterfeit pain pills that are made to look like blue oxycodone prescription pills and are commonly known as Mexican oxys. So we know oxycodone, again, is prescribed for pain, chronic pain. Families Against or acute pain, it should be, not chronic pain. Families Against Fentanyl is advocating for the U.S. government to designate fentanyl and its analogs as a weapon of mass destruction under federal statute. The statute defines weapons of mass destruction in part as, quote, any weapon that is designed or intended to cause death or serious bodily injury through the release, dissemination, or impact of toxin or poisonous chemicals or their precursors. Wow, it kind of does fit in that category. More than 100,000 Americans, a record amount, died of drug overdoses in the 12-month period ending in April 2021, according to CDC data. That's 2020 to 2021, and this is the period ending in April 2021, starting in April 2020. Fentanyl was involved in almost two-thirds of those deaths. During 2020, as lockdowns became prolonged and widespread as a response to the pandemic, overdose fatalities accelerated. This represents a worsening of the drug overdose epidemic in the United States, the CDC stated in an emergency health advisory issued more than a year ago on December 17, 2020. An analysis by the Wellbeing Trust in May 2020 estimated a possible 75,000 additional deaths of despair, including suicide as well as drug and alcohol abuse over the ensuing several years due to shutdown measures. And here's a map. I'm going to have a link of this article in the description below. So if you want to go and look at this more thoroughly, it'll be there. And while you're at it, subscribe to my channel and let me know what you think. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Record volume. This year, as the southern border became more porous, record amounts of drugs have been seized by authorities. During fiscal year 2021, which ended in September, Customs and Border Protection confiscated 11,200 pounds of fentanyl, up from 2,150 pounds the year prior. Still a lot. My God. I mean, even the year before. In addition, the Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA, seized a record-breaking more than 20 million counterfeit pills containing fentanyl this year. 20 million. Oh my God. According to Sherry Oz, DEA special agent in charge of the Phoenix Field Division. Almost half of those were seized in Arizona, she said. The Sinaloa cartel primarily uses the trafficking routes that run through Arizona, Oz said during a December 16th press conference. Phoenix is historically known as a repackaging and distribution area. So now they used to be methamphetamine, which I'm sure they're doing still, heroin, I'm sure they're doing still, but here is a cash cow for them. And they're creating pills from chemicals obtained from Mexico and China. It's horrible. At the press conference, Oz announced the result of a 2-month joint DEA and social and local Scottsdale, Arizona drug trafficking operation run by the Sinaloa cartel. In total, during the 2-month surge, we seized 3 million pills, 45 kilos of fentanyl powder, over 35 firearms, and arrested over 40 drug traffickers, she said. Oz said drug traffickers are using social media platforms, posting emojis and coding language that has specific meaning related to selling drugs more efficiently. Traffickers are using technology to get into your homes and sell pills to your children and loved ones, Oz said. Watch their social media and educate yourselves on the dangers and lingo of the online emojis being used. This is really scary stuff. At least 76 recent cases involved drug traffickers using social media applications, including Snapchat, Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, according to the DEA. The agency provides emoji decoding information on its website. Well, I hope these social media platforms are going to do something to censor these people. I mean, they do censor a lot of other opinions, but these aren't opinions. These are really going after our loved ones and our children with chemicals that could kill them. Scottsdale Police Chief Jeff Walder said, "It's not just a drug, it's an intended destabilizing influence in our country wrought by the cartels and their partners. And if those across the border can continue to push this destabilizing influence in our country, we're going to continue to see these record number of seizures because this is just flowing like a river into Arizona. And then it has tendrils that go around the country," Walter said during the press conference. This is not political, folks, right? I mean, come on. This is not political. You think the flow of these drugs and fentanyl is political? No. So when you talk about trying to control this flow, I mean, come on. Bad people are going to do bad things when there's little repercussions and there's little control over the flow. Okay? Let's be honest. Congress has failed to pass legislation that would designate Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Well, that's let me know what you think about that, all right? So I want you to take note. If you know anybody or yourself needs any type of help, these are the numbers, all right? Take note of these. Write them down. Share them with your loved ones. And be safe. And until next time, I'm Dr. Charles, aka CoachMD, urging you, encouraging you, pleading with you to do whatever you need to take to stay strong in mind, in body, and in soul. Bye for now.
Dr. Charles, CoachMD. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you think you have a friend who might benefit from this video, share it with them. For access to exclusive content, support my Patreon. There you'll get private access to videos, meditations, health tips, even relationship and financial tips. You'll have a say in what I produce and be able to participate in a monthly call with me. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon.